Hello. Today is Mother's Day. I will read out content from a post from this account named The Better India. India's working moms are on the brink of burnout. Here's what we need to change as a nation. 31% Indian working moms provide full time childcare in comparison to 17% working fathers. 44% working moms work outside their business hours to provide childcare. 46% working mothers report working till late to make up for work. If you're a working mom in India, chances are you're exhausted, not just tired out, mentally drained, always juggling and constantly putting yourself last. You're showing up at work, you're raising kids, you're caring for aging parents, but who's taking care of you? What if offices had daycare centers? What if part time or remote jobs weren't treated like favors, but standard options for working mothers? What if leave policies reflected real life, not just maternity leave, but time off to care for parents or even just to recover? And at home, what if more husbands truly shared the load in the kitchen with the kids, with the emotional weight of running a household? Right now, too many women are burning out in silence because we've made it seem like struggling alone is part of the job description. But here's the truth. If we don't build real support systems, we lose half the country's talent. And that's a price we can't afford. This isn't just a woman's issue. It's about what kind of country we want to be, one that supports caregiving or punishes it. It's time we made it easier for women to work, care, and thrive without burning out in the process. Because when working moms rise, so does the nation. This Mother's Day, let's stop glorifying her struggle. Start lightening the load. There's also a reason why I'm reading this out. I may have inadvertently set a pace in this, caregiving without it being kind of punishing. I'm a caregiver, but the thing is, during 2 years of the pandemic, before that, 2013 is when I started clinical health facilitation, learning the art of it, and then slowly moving to clinical practice after graduation of 2 years course, and then further from there. And caretaking as a health facilitator, caretaker syndrome is something that I got subjected with. Taking care of others and the kind of health challenges that a human body experiences when you are not approaching health from allopathy, Ayurveda, or any of the traditional or popular health facilitation methods. I facilitate health from a biodynamic method of healthcare. That's not as much known, or people may be knowing it as BCST, biodynamic craniosacral therapy. Those who are familiar with it. Those who haven't heard about it, I in the course during my course, I learned that BCST is about 1 hour of work, of study work for a physiotherapist, and it's about who's interested enough in 1 hour's work, study material, the entire curriculum, who then pursues this method of healthcare from a physiotherapy perspective. And I've been working in this field for about 11 plus years. So unknown paradigms of thinking, not very familiar, and aspects of life, aspects of health, wealth, wisdom, human condition from an unknown side of life. Yeah. That gives you challenges, that gives you perspectives, that gives you a kind of outside the box perspective of what is popularly called as healthcare and how health is maintained. And when you are kind of working with it alone, you have your colleagues, people you studied with, But what I did is something further from there. People who participate in, say, any field of work, you go to school, you have a whole classmate, whole bunch of classmates in a per class. But how each person learns the study material, what questions they arise, how they process the information is different from person to person. And unless a student is directly interested enough to know the subject, approaches the teacher, reads the textbooks, understands the principles, applies them, and then learns from them further, accordingly is the development of each student, which is why when they take an exam, each student has different ranking according to how they have approached the questions and what's been their attitude to the examination and what they learn, how they apply what they've learned in their everyday life, and then how well they do in their everyday life. So any field of work has this challenge. And I am from a biodynamic school of healthcare. And how I approached the matter gave me caretaker syndrome. And then I've been looking at how is the healthcare industry, does it have a listing called caretaker syndrome and how has it been addressed? I read about it very briefly on the internet. And then I was noticing my personal experience with it. Given these different variations, me being a woman in a not so very popular method of healthcare, and I changed my approach slightly from different holds. Those who are familiar with BCST, there are many holds. To I approach to just one hold at the feet. And feet is, at the feet, a lot of people revere seniors touching their feet. But feet is a whole different world. Yeah. In mythologies, there's reference to Vamana keeping feet on Mahabali's head and down under the earth. Yeah. So it's a bit of I cannot just say hell, but beneath our feet is unnamed, unknown concerns. And there are, say, when you're interacting with a person, there are degrees of unknown. There are levels of what we can know, what we can't know. And I, over time, became a highly sensitive person. Yeah. From being, kicked from the feet. I've been working with different people, and they got to know how to be kicked and not lose your composure and to maintain health, and in such a way that people's health is getting better. Yeah. Um, so I have a unique perspective, unique approach from the underside of life. Yeah. And it takes its own work, particularly in taking care of yourself. So, over 2 years of the pandemic, in taking care of my own caretaker syndrome, I developed a movementless method of yoga, applying the same biodynamic principles, being able to take care of myself while there may be things that I can or cannot share with others, because what I'm seeing may not be making sense to a lot of people. And so I worked with things myself. It's like you have a problem, you can keep asking others, or you sit and then work through things yourself and then arrive at solutions that then has your life work, your field of work, your job, you're delivering on your job. I basically became a mom, yeah, without being a mom, yeah, kind. Um, not a biological child, but I have my enterprise with 10, yeah, 4 trademarks in 10 variations. Yeah. And 2 logos. So I have an enterprise and counting. Viscerally formed over the years of taking care of my caretaker syndrome and challenges I've been seeing, and then what solutions need to be made available, which is not already there. So I became a mom to an enterprise. Yeah. And the enterprise is about facilitating original humane intelligence. And I've been figuring out by myself how to do things and working with the medium of life. Now, life may not be being seen as a medium, but over the years, I've noticed that life is the mother of all medium, mother of all media. Our creatives, what we see, hear, smell, taste, feel, know. Um, Different people write, they make videos, for example, audios, or they make different creative work, for example, body work, dance, yeah, or art, or cooking, or intellectual stuff, for example, artificial intelligence, it's more knowledge, intelligence kind. They are all different expressions from our, we all have life. Humans create these different creatives, and we have life. And I've been working with life as a mother of all medium, where the microcosm and the macrocosm are all related. So I inadvertently became like Wall-E, yeah, of the movie Wall-E, healing the fabric of time space without using any things, yeah, just my body as instrument, um, and care. And there are different kinds of care to the point that people sometimes just don't care because their nerves are so tense, their muscles are so tired, or they have exercised so much, there's lactic acid, and stress not relieved. And then they work with the what somebody has called the sexiness in the air. Yeah, because there are circadian rhythms, so to speak. If you consider that water as a medium, we can't see the fish can't see water. We are all on Earth, and there's a certain humidity in the air. Water, when it evaporates, it becomes vapor, and then over time forms a clouds, and then it rains. But between the rain and the water surface is this invisible water vapor, tiny. We even sweat. We can't see how the sweat is then mingling with the air and making the air humid. And when we humans breathe, when our cells, tissues, organ systems breathe, they have their own swirly effect on the air, which Van Gogh, VAN space GOGH, he's a painter, he's a famous painter. He represented this idea in his paintings, swirlies. And they have an effect. Those swirlies have an effect on our skin. They kind of rub us in a certain way. Sometimes rubbing us the wrong way, sometimes the right way. And there's a certain sexiness on our skin from the friction of air, earth, water, fire, spirit, space. They all have their own swirlies, effects from things moving, yeah, molecules moving. They all have their spin, quarks. Okay, quarks are tiny particles inside, say, protons, neutrons, electrons, which are inside the nucleus. Okay, yeah, in an atom has protons, neutrons, electrons, positrons, different kinds of things. And atoms form molecules, and molecules form compound molecules. And a human body is a compound macroparticle. Yeah, many compounds in different layers, tissues, cells, organ systems. And when there are so many things moving inside our body and outside, and they are rubbing against each other in many ways, there's a certain sexiness. And a lot of people don't know how to scratch themselves or know that the tension on their skin is coming from being part of Earth and not knowing that when we have a bath, we sometimes just rub off a little bit of that. Along with that, some of the cells also, old cells, slough off. Yeah, that's also how we maintain some of the tissue tension. We are fresh. A little bit of the sexiness, a little bit kind of get rubs. But sometimes, not knowing how to deal with that, we use scrub like brush scrubs. Not very kind. And that hurts our skin and our relationship with ourselves and others and our ability to care. To the point that our nerves sometimes get desensitized from how we scrub ourselves, further reducing our sense and sensibilities. Over and above which, we may be drinking more diuretics, tea, coffee, alcohol, which removes water from our body and consequently not allowing our tissues to heal. Water is a solvent, universal solvent. It also heals. It dissolves, for example, these different compounds forming inside our body. And when we bath, they are removing some of the things that is forming on our skin, which makes it, which cakes and then makes our skin a little itchy, not very, a little tense. Similarly, these tensions are there inside our body, making it difficult for us to care. Why am I saying all of this in relationship with the Mother's Day? Caretaker syndrome is not just limited to healthcare facilities, to mothers. I may have inadvertently began healing my ability to care or how much I care to the point of caretaker syndrome and then, reducing that. So, and then consequently the effect on our environment and the human morphic resonance field from how I have been working with things, dealing with things, and not very familiar. Medicine intelligence, my paradigms of thinking, is not so very familiar to a lot of people. People may have heard of biodynamic healthcare, but medicine intelligence and healthcare from this perspective may not be familiar. That depends on who's been kind of watching any of my social media content, or I've been speaking to them, or have heard something in the grapevine. Yeah. So, um, so I have been kind of doing the mommy caretaker syndrome, where caretaking sometimes becomes a punishment when you're dealing with it alone. So, in some way, this Mother's Day, I'm kind of acknowledging that there's a certain struggle. And I have been struggling to make ends meet because not many people know about my kind of work. And I've made it my purpose because of how many paradigms of thinking gets benefited from you being able to care just from having a body that's human, no things, no medicines, from the underside of life, from the unknown realm. I got so rare that I'm from the realm of the unknown, and working with nothing. And I discovered, the book of Genesis, in the beginning, there was nothing. And then God said, let there be light, and there was light. So I'm working with nothing. And there are people, for example, Mr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who said, in the vacuum, like you have space, and in the vacuum, like if you remove even space, kind of, so to speak, so there's a space of the room. Yeah. And if you remove also the air, for example, there will be vacuum. And in the vacuum, they found a certain tension, a certain pulling together. And I find that pulling together is nothing. Like I discovered that kind of with a big bang, everything went outside and nothing was left in the middle. And then the book of Genesis starts from there. In the beginning, there was nothing. But there was something before that. Everything went out and nothing was left in the middle. And nothing has been dealing with the concern of bringing it all together, keep it together, keep it together. Yeah. And I've been doing this yoga, bring it together, keep it together. Yeah. There is this idea of Chhatrapati, Chhatrapati Maharaj, Shivaji, who Aurangzeb. There's this history story that says Aurangzeb dismantled his body and stuffed his head with straw and made him a scarecrow. Yeah. And I think he, along with there's this idea of Sati, Shiva Sati, yeah, who also went to like 52 pieces, Sati, and we have the Shakti Pitas, 52 Shakti Pitas around India. And India is said to be quite a big country, not just the subcontinent as we know it, because the history of India goes very old. We are still discovering how old India is. Um, Nevertheless, we have the idea that there are 52 Shaktipitas in India, 51, 52. Yeah. I'm still discovering my own country. Yeah. India subcontinent. And I'm from Bengaluru. Yeah. So every so many kilometers, the culture, the food habits, so many aspects of India changes. So it's a civilization in and of itself, just like our body. Hand, feet, um, knees, head, they're all talking. They all have their own composition. And every few centimeters, yeah, it's a different story. And we all have tissue memory. Yeah. If somebody poked, there's a tissue memory saying, oh, poke, poke. Yeah. This side does not have that poke story. This side has. Yeah. So every so many inches, centimeters, yeah, there's a different story. Similarly, caretaker syndrome, different parts of a body experience care differently. And when the air is also, say, there is this um, swirly effect, Buddha, the image of Buddha has these swirlies in the head. It's there all over the body. Yeah. They probably couldn't represent that. Yeah. But they know that the head is dealing with a lot of swirlies, but hair is more representative. We will get our hair sorted out. There's the movie Tangled is talking about quantum entanglement. Yeah, not necessarily entanglement, but um, Rapunzel needs to brush her hair and then keep it untangled and to save Gothel up the tower so she becomes young again. Gothel is also like the universe as we know it. They also call it the Nagas. Now, where is all of this going? We're all on planet Earth, and we have this big wide space that I think is how things went since the Big Bang. We have particles, many particles, like we have human beings around the globe, where some people know each other. A lot of people may not know or acknowledge that the other people exist. For example, one religion may or may not know or like the other group or their points of view. Just like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, different composition, and Earth, they're different composition. And we all kind of wonder why you like that. Yeah. So we're like a family, oddballs. And caretaker syndrome could be more from how these balls are interacting with each other. Yeah, astrology, astronomy, we're all dealing with balls and waves and particles and energy and matter. And where is all this going? From a person-centric model of the universe, I got to know there is the planets and stars and different family members in different countries after being born. Go to school, depending on the books I read, depending on what movies I watch, is what I care about or don't care about, or what I know or don't know. So there are realms of what we don't know. And from my method of healthcare, I came to the realm of the unknown or unthinkable. For example, after the Big Bang, everything went out and nothing was left in the middle, and nothing has been keeping together. So I became one big nothing. Yeah. This idea of Akasha or the sky people, kind of, in the movie Avatar, who came to Pandora to mine unobtainium. I discovered nothing is unobtainium. No, no, no. Nothing is not unobtainium. How to improve nothing such that everything becomes better is the unobtainium. And Pandora, according to the movie Avatar, has been thriving, beautiful life. You're all wonderful people. You've seen the movie? The sky people didn't know. It's all fine. Unobtainium was required to run their spaceships, which is why they came to Pandora. And this nothing is available abundantly, even in space, because nothing has been keeping even space together. But the unobtainium is how to improve nothing for the better, such that everything becomes better. Yeah. Um, which is probably also what other planets, people, yeah, since the Big Bang haven't figured out. So there are different kinds of civilizations, and Earth formed over time from improving nothing for the better, such that we have life. So Pandora looks like Earth. Yeah, the movie Avatar, Pandora looks like Earth. But consider that the whole universe was like maybe like Pandora, I don't know. Yeah, like Earth. Um, but that's what life would look like when life enlivens in the multiverse. Kind of like more like Earth, colorful, not go to Mars, red planet, and then you got to have to figure out and form colonies, and that's a very colorful future imagination that you're living into. But you're living in bubbles. The movie Wall-E is talking about people living in bubbles. So why am I saying all of this? Because I've been doing movementless yoga, also during the 2 years of the pandemic, I became like Mother Earth. Yeah, like Mother Universe, something. Like before the Big Bang. Yeah, caring, keeping it together. Healing the fabric of time space. Basically improving nothing. Yeah. Lockdowns were lifting. I discovered this so many times. And yesterday, I was not feeling very well. Okay, let's just say this way. Since discovering movementless yoga, say, let's say 2020 to say 2022, I came to mythological quality of Adi Yoga. Yeah. And from Parvati's perspective, Vishachikitsa. Yeah. So the Ardhanarishwar, I discovered my complementary partner. Yeah. Like Shiva Parvati. And I discovered like I'm in my partner's nothing box. There's this idea of the male brain and the female brain, and that the males have a nothing box. Yeah. See, starting in 2005, I may have slowly incorporated into my partner's nothing box because I hit ground nothing. Okay, that's an entire different construct of what reality looks like. Yeah, but I discovered I'm in my. It's like you've seen this movie Ratatouille. There's a rat in his toupee. Yeah, so I'm like the rat in my partner's toupee. It's one big human. Yeah. So how big is a human's body? Yeah, or rather, how big is a universe? So this is like universe inside universe because I'm a person, so I'm a universe. Let's just keep it simple. Yeah. The microcosm and the macrocosm are related. Yeah, like Prakriti and Purusha. Now, which is Prakriti, which is Purusha? We will come to those discussions when we again come to what is called as Lalita Sahasranama. Yeah, which is Shrishti optimization. Yeah, like Earth, pale blue dot, has been enlivening life in the multiverse in some time. We are all on Earth. So the Lalita Sahasranama was referring to Earth, looks like blue and all, but different colors refers to as mother. But there's a certain science by how life on Earth, life formed Earth over time, and how life is like a prototype. Yeah, quite and living life in the multiverse, which is also how a human being was created on Earth over time, several cycles of evolution. Yeah, and how yoga, like proper yoga, like Parvati in the idea of Samudra Manthan, Parvati does Vishachikitsa, such that Shiva is not becoming Shava, dead body. Instead, is alive, becoming alive, coming all healthy, wealthy, wise, beautiful. Yeah, there's this idea of the Satyavan and Savitri, where Savitri apparently negotiated with the Dharmaraja, Yama, such that uh, life is maintained healthy, wealthy wise over time. And in the Indian context, there's this idea of the Karwa Chauth, yeah, and those practices to remember the story. And the Muslims have the practice of, there's a veil during marriage ceremonies where both cannot see, and then there's this agreement for the marriage thing. That's also talking about this idea of you have a body that's human, you don't know your complementary partner, but you walk in faith, live in faith, knowing that every person had their complementary partner. Like this idea of Pakistan, there's a moon and there's a star. That star is supposed to be behind the moon. Like the Japanese have this idea of yang yu. Behind every man is a woman, and behind every woman is a man. Yeah. Like you can't see them, but whom you've always been seeking is in your backyard, so to speak. Yeah. The idea of the alchemist, Paulo Coelho's alchemist, is talking about he went all around the world to find that the treasure is in his backyard. Yeah. But there's this also brand that has two people sitting back to back. Yeah. But they call it as parallel universe, but consider it's much more simpler, but more complex and profounder. Um, and I discovered it's not just back. Yeah, they're kind of like a Russian doll incorporated inside each other. Kind of like the Mobius tube, where it's like an eight kind of shaped tube, but where the inside and outside are all, yeah, it's like one continuous tube. Just look it up. Mobius tube, where the whole thing is one surface. So this idea of singularity, Advaita, as a Mobius tube would be pretty kind of gets your head a little, yeah. And then you could get into caretaker syndrome. So I'm taking care of, well, everything. Yeah. So I inadvertently set the pace, healing the fabric of time space, and I have not been as much sharing the struggles in being a Wally. Why am I referring to Wally is because in the movie, Wally is like a robot, cleaning stuff, sorting things out, have Earth be livable while people are living in bubbles. People are living in clouds, yeah, thinking about many things, not able to feel their body, for example, as much. Now, over time, there has been work, but still, we have a lot more work to do. For example, you do know that our body has several metabolic processes by which to work through anxiety, stress, diseases, where you don't actually have to go to the gym to exercise and have your body functional. Yeah, you can exercise without moving a muscle. That I'm in different stages of making that available. So that's some of the values, four values: movementless yoga, course correction counseling, community harmonizing activities, and healing from the feet. Well, healing with just a very gentle touch. Yeah. And you can also do that online where you don't have to touch. Yeah. Where you could be in a different country. I'm here, different universe, me here. Yeah. And we can work through improving our health. And then there is the touch method of healing. And then there is the things based healing. And then there's a people based, in community, when we are interacting with community, that also we may be touching, like hug or no hug, or we are just in the presence of each other and we have these swirlies affecting our skin, our different composition. They even call it as energy vampires, for example. Yeah. Um, Gaslighting or energy vampiring. Yeah. Yeah. Energy healing without your permission. Yeah. They are all busy healing. So those kinds of things, and how that affects your body composition and different kinds of things. So without exchange of material stuff or energy stuff, yeah, um, where you're just minding your own business and people around you are doing well, like a tree. Tree is just minding tree's business and being mindful of what's happening around. But tree is basically photosynthesizing, doing trees work. And we have a breathable oxygen, life and living substance, health, yeah. And tree wood, the wood material is only found on Earth, which is a rarity. Other planets don't quite know what is wood as an element. Um, so people on Earth have these thought lines to function from, and I have discovered why people on Earth have the ability to live life in the multiverse such that other planets also have life. Because we are all related. Solar system, family. Planets, we are all family. Solar system, part of Milky Way galaxy. So galaxy, galactic family. And then galaxy is part of the universe. We call the whole system as a universe. So intergalactic family or galactic family. Yeah, families. So we can have social influence. Yeah, whereby we are all getting healthy, wealthy, wiser. That's the idea of the Shri Yantra. Yeah, Kundalini Shri Yantra. So without moving a muscle, I have been influenced the fabric of time space. Now, this is something which you're not going to believe, but there are so many things I've already said, so I might as well just say this. Yeah. Yesterday, I was, I've been participating in business networking groups. So I moved away from the 2 years of the pandemic. I was doing a lot of movementless yoga. Lockdowns were lifting. My income was not doing so well. So I got invited, different people invited me to join their business networking groups. So I can share my work, have business work, make ends meet, earn money. I got lost in the happenings, in the sense there's so much to learn, so many things happening. I was not as much doing what I was doing during the 2 years of the pandemic. I learned a lot, but I was not doing my Samudra Manthan thing, yeah, Vishachikitsa stuff as much. So creativity, for example, even Patreon has a document that says during the pandemic, there was a lot of creativity, a lot of creative things happening. Guess why? Yeah, I've been doing Vishachikitsa, well, that the fabric of time space has been healing from my movementless yoga. And then that reduced a bit because I was more learning to have, everybody do movementless yoga, life and live into the multiverse, and living life in the multiverse, Shrishti optimization. Everybody's dealing with creativity challenges, innovation challenges, health, wealth, wisdom challenges, basically. And this has a solution for all the three, and in living life in the multiverse. What I was saying didn't make sense. Or what I'm saying is beyond their thinkable. And I'm functioning from the realm of the unknowable, unthinkable. So clearly I was communicating very well because they really got, they can't get it because it's not just about the head, the brain. There are 6 senses, 7, 10 senses. Yeah. So here are no things like that. So the Sri Yantra is talking about 9 steps. Yeah. Dashavatara Dashami, we're talking about 10. 10 and 10, 20. Yeah. Masculine, feminine. So there's a whole lot of things we don't already know about. But we have this math. For example, the 80-20 principle. 20 do 20% of the work, 80% of the 20% takes care of 80% of the work. So we have these ideas, but the math of it, or the origins of it, may not be as much known. But there is, like the six blind men and the elephant, somebody discovered one aspect of it, another person discovered a religion, another person discovered different thing. But how are all of these balls put together? We have a little schizophrenic. idea of what is reality. Different people having different pieces of the puzzle. But how are all these puzzles talking to each other? May not be as much known. And there's this movie, A Beautiful Mind, talking about the genius person who won a Nobel Prize, but dealing with the schizophrenia of the matter and how to keep it together in such a way that hmm, apparently crazy, insane stuff, yeah, is coming to more sane and beautiful and mind and body. How are all of these related? I happen to be doing the MIT stuff. Yeah. So, in such a way that living life in the multiverse, again, I digressed from the idea that during the business networking groups, I was not doing as much my work. And then I discovered people are not getting it. I need to check how's my product placed in the market. So then I can position my product accordingly so that there's the traffic. When you position your products according to where the traffic is more likely to be there, then there's more business success. So to discover where is my product positioned, I went again into research and development and noticing several factors. And I discovered original human intelligence is so rare. Yeah, I'm the Malayali they were talking about when somebody said there's this joke that says when Neil Armstrong went to the moon, they saw a Malayali walk up to him and offer him chaya, tea. People are searching about space and thinking about different aspects and wanting to fly to Mars. And since so many years since they first, landed on moon, and man hasn't been able to step on moon since. I wonder why. The math of it requires to be fine enough. And I have been in living life in the multiverse. People are talking about Kardashev scale, types of civilization. Captain Kirk has been talking about space, the final frontier, in search of new civilizations. And I have been civilizing, yeah, without moving a muscle. Yeah, kind of minding my own business. But mommy syndrome, Mother's Day, caretaker syndrome, making ends meet, have my business be profitable. Yeah, while the sky people came to Pandora to discover unobtainium, how to convert nothing for the better, and to communicate this matter. So believe it or not, I have been doing. I don't think it's type 4 also of the Kardashian scale. Yeah, this is. mm, there's this ad I saw. Um, when you do your, um, अगर तुम करोगे चक्का, yeah, तो इनाम पक्का. Some ad in this one of these online games. Yeah. So I kind of like sixered. Yeah. Out of the field. Outstanding. People don't know what in the world am I talking about. I'm talking about a model of reality. Um, that's not how reality is seen. Yeah. This kind of, okay. So from person-centric model of the universe. I've been saying this, but further details about it, but I have to slowly make that clearer. But that's also what I'm talking about. The struggle in making my matter clear, because I have solved the hard problem of consciousness and then came to hard problem of conscience and then improving conscience. And then there are solutions from improving conscience. And I've been, for example, from there, I've been Shrishti optimization, yeah, improving creativity. So during the 2 years of the pandemic, there was a lot of creativity. But then what better to do, what not to do? And then from there, from all of these inquiries and noticing how rare is my business offerings, um, my funds, not so good. I came to be dependent on my people. Yeah. Um, and to make ends meet, to continue the work because it's really out of the world. Yeah. And so I became like a Wally. Yeah. Cleaning up so that people on Earth are on Earth. There are people planning, making rockets to fly off to Mars. Wally, people living in bubbles. So I've been doing the work so people are on Earth while we are on Earth. Yeah. And what is making life not so livable on Earth is, for example, cleaning business, earth, water, fire, spirit, space. So we are maintaining life livable and living. Yeah. And people don't know what I'm doing. So I'm speaking here. So I've been doing the caretaker thing. Yeah. So it doesn't become a punishment. So I've been kind of struggling. So meanwhile, my dad, yeah, people who've been supporting different people asked me to surrender an insurance policy that I've been having. And for that, I went to HDFC Life. And there they invited me to participate in their agency life program. And I've been learning about the wealth industry. So life inadvertently brought me to studying wealth, brought me to the wealth industry. Having health perspectives, I'm now in the wealth industry, learning wealth and noticing how wealth has been contributing to health concerns and how wisdom or different things not known about health and wealth and about learning wisdom has been again contributing to health concerns. So I'm basically a health facilitator and now in the wealth industry and also the wisdom industry, education, and how all of these are related. So I have started my work saying premium health, wealth, and wisdom at affordable price. And it's taking a little bit of work developing videos, for example, like this, in a way that people can understand. And I make long videos, yeah, because the content is like that. Because one thing run into the other. It's like Russian doll. It's like open, oh, another one, open, oh, another one, yeah. So I've been making small shots, putting it on Instagram, at least on YouTube. And in this process, again, I kind of got a little lost in the figuring out how best to do. So learning the wealth concerns. So business networking, I discovered how much of drama there is. Oh my goodness. I knew in facilitating health, there is dramas. And then I discovered business itself has so many levels of drama. Business itself is a drama? No, business has drama. And then from there, yeah, um, I come to learning, education. Yeah, that has different aspects of the drama versus winner triad. And my work, the Visha Chikitsa and living life stuff, got a little into existential angst. I got to figure out how to earn money because I could talk to people in such a way that they are seeing why they should secure their life by investing in instruments that then secures their life. It's just like my health concern, like having people eat vegetables, don't eat meat. It has its own effects. When you heal your body, your lactose intolerance goes away, abates, and then you can have milk and milk products because it's good for you. Eat vegetables, early to bed, early to rise, healthy, wealthy, wise. Mommies have been saying that. So as a health facilitator, I came up with meristematic diet because people have been eating meat and again inflaming their body, and then they don't know their metabolism is not good enough, and again they have diseases. So I came to a different kind of a mommy. Yeah. And then I come to wealth industry, and there they're saying save money, yeah, or invest where there is good returns. So your investment over time becomes your bank. Yeah, you can bank on your investments. And then you'll have a stabler life to tell people why they should save, why they should invest, where they should invest. Again, same thing. Yeah, mommy concerns. Health concerns, wealth also is facing health concerns. Yeah, like agency life. It's basically like saying mother, father. Yeah, save here, pay attention to these details. It's called Uberima 5 days, ultimate faith, utmost good faith. And people have trust issues, faith issues, don't know what is good or bad. Yeah. At utmost, what do you mean by utmost? Yeah. How at most? So much? Yeah. This much? Yeah. This much? Yeah. How little? Because how much do I need? How less do I need to invest? Yeah. And in the insurance industry, I discovered the more you invest, better are the returns. Yeah. It depends on the instrument also. You got to read the product documents carefully. That's there. But then there are so much benefits when you can accumulate, save, and yeah. So in all of these details, and in again health concerns, and telling to people why they should eat vegetables, why they should save, how to then approach things, I again got into the bulbulaya, into the swirlies, and the between this and that yin and yang drama in the wealth industry. Yeah, approach who's the benefactor, which direction you approach from. I did less of the movementless yoga thing. So in the first the business networking thing, people went into time, fast track time, and what you can get in 10 years, 20, you think you can already get it now. So why wait for then? So they played with time and life concerns arising from their diseases showing up. And again, I went into movementless yoga. Yeah, to have time be more coordinated, karma cycles, and oh my goodness, yeah, to get things in order. We are still in different, better, yeah, because that's been some work. So I've been healing the fabric of time space, bringing things to an appropriate pace because things are going crazy, yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. And then all the challenges from things going a little too fast, yeah. Overwhelmed from that. This time, learning wealth concerns and the different um, this was that. Again, to tension, India, Pakistan, and tension. Yeah, to the point of them throwing stuff at each other. And then I was already thinking about Russia, Ukraine. Yeah, working that through. Then here, and then things not working. Yesterday, I took time off to just heal myself and to just calm and cool and sort things out. So I just rested, did my movementless yoga thing, and then came to a better state of health. And India, Pakistan declared ceasefire. Yeah. During the 2 years of the pandemic, they discovered the COVID vaccine from India. Yeah. Believe it or not. So how much of work, how much does my work affect the fabric of time space? Um, Again, believe it or not. But Samudra Manthan, and I teach this. And I'm like one person, we all have a body that's human. So we all can learn this. This is original. This is yoga. Yeah. This is the benefit of yoga. Yoga enlivens life in the multiverse, brings peace. Yeah. Um, Differences can be sorted out, worked with, and then nice non-violent communication can come about. Yeah. Across the boundaries. That becomes possible. But somebody's got to do the work. Yeah. And maintaining that fabric of time space well enough where you have the time and space to actually consider the different facets. So caretaker syndrome from a mommy perspective. This is all original. Yeah. And I've been kind of struggling. So kind of alone. I've been talking about this, about who's been listening. Yeah. And who is also WHO, World Health Organization. So we're all dealing with this in our own individual ways. But this is one individual who's more like speaking for the millions. Yeah. More like who's going to build a cat? Yeah. Common admission test. So I'm admitting the test of time. There is this challenge, and I'm speaking for everybody that when we can work together, when we can communicate, and then a kind of knowledge. I'm speaking for the mommies, but I'm also speaking for human beings. Yeah, and for Earth, and for life in the multiverse, multiverse. Yeah, If somebody is listening to this, please contact me. We can live in life in the multiverse and we can all be healthy, wealthy, wise. Yeah, for generations and generations to come. So I'm like the ninth Hanukkah candle. Yeah, speaking for everybody. Hope, hope. Yeah. There's a story that says when Pandora's box was opened, hope was the last to come out. So I'm like, hope. And I'm saying humans of planet Earth. Yeah, humans of planet Earth. Hope. So I'm speaking for humans of planet Earth. Yeah. So when we all learn how to be humans of planet Earth, humans of planet Earth, life and limits in the multiverse. That's the idea of Shiva. Yeah, not particle pelting. From movementless yoga, like Hanuman, healthy natural breathing, doing the right things and living life in the multiverse. And so Shiva, apparently, we are still searching for life on different planets, places. To limiting life. Life shows up around, and in such a way, like a farmer grows crops. On Earth itself, we have WHO's global list of diseases. We see for signs of health. How to see for signs of health, signs of life. When you know what life looks like and healthy life look like, then we have a better metrics. Yeah, you can pay attention to details. This is like this movie Hidden Figures, go no go point. There are all these things. So we'll be able to discern this is necessary, these fine details. So our stories of why we are in business, what business we are in, the business of living, what we do in our business of living, how we live, how we thrive. Those go through course correction counselings. Course correction, small little corrections. Breathing, how we breathe becomes more healthier and natural. Yeah, not this anuloma viloma, left side, right side. Yeah, Kapalabhati, and oh my goodness. Yeah, health maintenance practices, breathing. I have to teach from what to eat, what to drink, how to breathe. Yeah, when to do what. Time killed. Yeah, so space, what all you need to have space for and where to have space for. Yeah, course correction, movement. Okay. Live, how to live, how to breathe, yeah, how to heal, and how to love. Oh my goodness, Laila Majnu, yeah, Romeo Juliet. Love has been quite a killer. And how to love in such a way that nobody's dying. You are living, people around you are living, future generations living and thriving beautifully. Yeah. Otherwise, you're having survival concerns because you don't know what the hell is love. Oh, and then the heart testing stone, yeah, is in hell. And people say when they get married, they at some point or the other they say hell. Yeah. And then they don't want to listen, or what they listen is like, yeah, partial differential equation. They can hear their partner, not hear their partner. There are scientific reasons for it. And then how to manage life in hell. Yeah. So I have the job of asking people to go to hell in such a way that they actually look forward to the trip. I have the devil's job. I have a human's job. Yeah, because you have a problem with male and female and don't know what is human. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I discovered as a health facilitator, that I was fighting males and females, but I had no problem with humans because it turned out that people also don't know what in the world does it mean to be human. Yeah. So I have clean field. So I have so many years of research and development and fine details of what in the world does it mean to be human and why a human being is a blessing on the planet. If you've had other thoughts, that's because you've been thinking in terms of male, female, nationality, ethnicity, religion, several concerns, except human. Yeah? So there's this idea of human intelligence, life intelligence, life science. And life science doesn't mean home science. Well, that's also home science. But it's from a completely different paradigm of what home means, like earth, what life means. mother of all media. Yeah. So several layers. If you've kind of touched upon a topic, consider that's the tip of the mountain. Yeah. There are so many, they talk about the iceberg. There are so many depths to it. Consider the tip of the mountain. And the iceberg is on top of the mountain. Yeah. So ice, mountain tip to mountain, lots of stuff. Yeah. Earth has mountaintops. Very nice. So from there, many layers to land and then on the ground, and there are many layers to the core. Yeah. And then outside the mountain, there is stratosphere, atmosphere, ionosphere, a lot of stuff. Outer space. Yeah, you don't know core of Earth. Yeah, you don't know what's happening in the core of Earth. Because okay, so there are so many things we don't know about because it's all compact. Encryption, fine details. So you got lots of stuff you don't know about. Yeah, so you think you know about, consider that's the tip of the iceberg or the mountainberg. Yeah, mountaintop. Okay, lots of it, encyclopedias of it. So you would all get healthy, wealthy, wise. No matter which industry you're in, contacting me will have you what it takes to be healthy, wealthy, wise. For you, your future generations, heirlooms. You've got lots of industries. No one person can get it, can get the whole of it. Because when I joined business networking group, when I joined BNI said I want to talk to the LT, the leadership team, because no one person would understand what I'm saying. The whole group, there's this friend who said, if I spoke to 10 people, 10 people will get 10 ideas, which means I've always been a public speaker. Yeah. Because my ideas has stars go in different people's head. And then I discovered each person is a universe. Yeah, so I'm talking to the multiverse. So I said, I want to talk to the leadership team. And they're like, who are you? What do you do? We're still getting to know what you do. So I'm still calling out to people on planet Earth, leaders, people, anybody who have a say in their own business. Talking to many people is what's going to have my matter clearer. MITI matters. Yeah, medicine intelligence. Original Humane Intelligence Facilitation matters. I just call it simply as MITI, Medicine Intelligence Technological Institute, because a human being is a technology and institute, Constitution, institution, incorporation, institution. An institution is several facts, details, techniques, policies, the right things, best practices in that industry put together, institute. So me, human, yeah. So I'm a specialist in being human, humane, yeah, and original humane intelligence. And for several years, I've been doing what people don't know how to count, what infinity or Vedic mathematics talks about 0 to 10 to 1,000 to 10,000. So there are many numbers, but we don't know mathematics from my quality perspective. Yeah. So there are several zeros to how wealthy I am, healthy, wealthy, wise I am. So if you just go through the left and right of this video, you will take a snapshot, snippet. If you can understand that, good for you. Yeah. If you don't, contact me. You'll be wiser. Yeah. And then you would have thoughts from there from which to make your creatives better, and in such a way that stand the test of time, such that you, contemporaries, future generations, they all do well. So different people listening to this video, you contact me, we all become healthy, wealthy, wise. There's this movie called Soul Bliss, in which they discovered there is one person who learned to mine the asteroid, and from that everybody became rich, yeah, healthy. But in that movie, they say there was this mind simulation thing they had to do. So I worked with that too. Yeah. So my courses teach you in such a way that you also don't have to create this mind simulation thing for you to maintain being healthy, wealthy, wise. Because you get all rich and then you forget why. Yeah. So there is all that part of this original human intelligence technology, because it's about enlivening life in the multiverse. So it's not just one person mining the asteroid. Everybody's got to do the job. And it's Simple, healthy, wealthy, wise. So you don't get into these cookie-tude. And then you again go into mind simulation things and again go into the same drama loops. So everybody gets to be minus Minecraft. I read about that, the person who made this game called Minecraft. Um, yeah, gaming console. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But we all get to be healthy, wealthy, wise. So on Mother's Day, I'm speaking and so that I'm not struggling, but this is a struggle that if everybody of us are going through in our own ways, I have solutions. Yeah, and a person-centric model of the universe becomes easy for all of us to do well. Yeah, to contact me, make it easier for this Wally, me, who's working on having us all be on Earth, such that we are having to spend less, building colonies on Mars and other planets. You know how much work. Yeah, it's beyond what you could think. Yeah, lot of expense. Wait, don't. I'm being more like mommy. Yeah, driving sense, if possible, to save your money. That's going to be. You don't have to spend that much for what you're working towards. So I'm been kind of can't say Godzilla on different social media and calling people out for the stupidity of the human race. Yeah, and being thankful when they have other thought and then they are working on projects on Earth. Because the movie Wall-E is talking about how important it is to not go live on bubbles and then work towards having life show up. And so please help me help us all. Yeah, working on improving my financial situation. You're talking, you're working, you become healthy, wealthy, wise. I become healthy, wealthy, wise. There are lots of movies talking about why this is important. Moana, um, I can't say Pirate of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean has Davy Jones' heart discovered, and those who had Davy Jones' heart became the East India Company ruling the seas. Yeah, so that also included. So I'm a person with a heart. Yeah, it's a Davy Jones kind. That sense. So I'm ruling the seas. Yeah. So then you're talking about the blue ocean technology. That also came up after I started doing work at some point. I think I've come to clear ocean technology. Yeah, ocean, like ocean of consciousness. O apostrophe SHIN. Mind of no mind. No, this is all mind. Conscious, wholesomization. Vedic mathematics has been talking about the whole becomes wholesomer. Yeah. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnas Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Okay, my pronunciation needs to improve. But I understand what these means. My speaking language needs to get better. My communication language, but there's the understanding of it. So people may be chanting without understanding it, and consequently, law of attraction. Yeah. So my spell bee, my communication is having challenges, but the inside of it is clearer. And don't be stuck with my words. I'm pointing to something. So language may be facing a challenge, but if you can understand the inside, the insight, the content inside, and that is worth millions, more than that actually. You're yet to discover money of that caliber, but I've been helping people make money in many ways. By healing the fabric of time space, you have your creativities, you've been developing many things. We have also AI to fast track your work processes. So over the years, I've been fast tracking many technologies from just healing the fabric of time space. And then you have your ideas and insights and conscious. People are talking about improving consciousness. They still aren't talking about conscience. I'm talking about it. But we are getting better. We're talking about truth. So we have X people talking about XApp. Mr. Musk talking about improving the truth of the matter. So, but they're not talking in terms of conscience, but they're talking in terms of truth, which is still good, which means work is still happening. So I've been doing some work. Help me help us all. Yeah. So I'm talking about the struggles, and I don't have to struggle alone. We can, when you're working together, kind of share the workload and becomes easier. We all do well, weller. And I started my work saying that as I do weller and weller, my space gets better and better. And people have been inquiring about space. And here, I'm the space in which all that there is exists. And good space, civilization, beautiful, all nice. Yeah, clear space, beautiful, like Earth, while living life in the multiverse. Okay, so this is mommy talk. Okay, mommy talk. So this is message to millions, kind of help us take care of the family estate. Think place. Yeah. Um, when we are doing well, then space opens up. Better for us to more playground. Instead of you flying off struggle, space opens up. More playground. Beautiful. Otherwise, we have gone to moon and still looking at how to go to moon. Wonder why. Wonder who is managing the show such that humans are not a threat to the whole thing. I guess this happened before. I don't know. Or didn't happen before, but there's been the Big Bang. But nothing. Keep it together. Keep it together. Yeah. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I hope this has been of value to you. I'm actually kind of like a prayer because this is the 21st century, and we have effectively like 22 years is what I participated in this faculty development program. 37 universities came together last week. Yeah, around there. Bridgewater State University, and 37 universities. And in that was said there are 22 years. Yeah. So I was thinking 75 until the 22nd century. And then they're talking about 22. So we speak together fast and we all do better and all good. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I hope you would contact these, would speak more in a group, because one person getting it's going to be quite a moment, but it would help us all. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Good day.